Good evening, everyone. It's probably evening. It's going to have to be evening. I am Connell Judge. I am here today to introduce you to part 1, episode 1 of the podcast, which is category is climate.co.uk. Part 1 is culture, love, and action. And episode 1 is combating climate anxiety. I will be reading some of this off my iPad because I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to start making shit up. I don't want to be contributing to the bullshit. But here we go. Climate anxiety. What is climate anxiety? Climate anxiety is that feeling that a lot of people have now, even if you don't know it's climate anxiety. If you are someone who is anxious about the state of the world, political instability, decreasing food quality, the way the world seems to be moving, the planet dying, systems changing, conflicts growing all over the world, prices rising, water getting contaminated, all of these things are a part of the larger climate crisis. And that is what leads to something like climate anxiety, where you are sitting at home and you're doom scrolling and you're just absorbing the world from your bedroom, and you have, as an individual person, just chilling in your room, very little knowledge on how you can help with the current crisis. I am here to teach you that. There are also thousands of other resources apart from me that can also teach you, probably way more than what I'm about to teach you. However, I have written 16 academic articles, as you know, and this is one of them. That would be the definition of climate anxiety. It's the prospect of losing our peace and our way of life, the despair over the loss of life, and the grief over our changing planet and dying ecosystems. That would be more closely related to climate anxiety, but it's all very similar, and people who feel it similarly. It's a big nexus of feelings about the political instability we seem to be approaching swiftly, even in the West. Thankfully, parallel to these feelings, a cultural reckoning is underway. Most people know that we must rewire the values that guide us away from apathy, detachment, and individualism toward collective care, love, and responsibility. The climate crisis is not just a technical issue. It is a moral, cultural, and emotional challenge, i.e., it's not just because things don't work efficiently. It is not just because public transport's not as strong as it could be, and yes, everything we do creates carbon. Yes, this is a technicality issue, but it is a cultural issue because you are not doing anything, I'm doing something, but most are not doing anything. It is also an emotional challenge because you have got to pull all of this energy out of where? We're all worked way too hard. I get it. It's a lot, but you can and you should do a little bit more. And I'm not telling you to go and change your whole damn fucking life right now. No one's done that. No one in the history of Earth has woken up one day and gone, I'm changing everything about my life. Small incremental change, strategic change on these little levels within the day-to-day life of an average person, you can make a difference and you should make a difference because your complacency and your complicitness is harming others around the world. It is a fact. Okay, thank you so much. So sorry. Don't cry. It's okay. But yes, technical issue, etc., etc. If we want to build a future, it starts with reviving empathy, especially from those farthest from the privileges of the global north. Because at the end of the day, this climate crisis is hitting the poor in third world nations and low to middle income economies all over the world. Right. Paragraph 2. Climate anxiety, a symptom of disconnection and numbness. For many in the West, especially younger generations, the climate crisis, paired with corrupt political structures, has produced a new kind of psychological distress, climate anxiety. The systems meant to protect us are failing. This anxiety often coexists with the disturbing contradiction. The fact that so many worry and that so many are anxious proves that you care, and it proves that you are, in fact, educated and knowledgeable to a degree on this crisis. You know it exists, you know it's happening, you know about the actions that you take that don't positively impact the world, but you have trained yourself to go, it's fine. It's all right. Everyone's doing it. It's not my problem. I'm not the biggest contributor. If 8 billion people have this attitude, we end up where we are today, just FYI. The contradiction therein lies in our inaction and our inability to change habits and make small sacrifices in our lives to aid in a slowing crisis. We continue to scroll, consume, and carry on. Studies have shown that repeated exposure to environmental disasters in media, i.e. doom scrolling and overstimulation from media, leads to compassion fatigue. Compassion to me sounds like early stage climate anxiety, but what it essentially means is that you are desensitized so viciously to the crises happening around the world that how on earth are you supposed to get out of bed and make a change? Because we see it so often. We're consistently swiping past disaster and none of us are doing anything about it. You need to make a very conscious effort as a human being to make sure that you disengage with what you're seeing online and take that knowledge and you put it into something more practical. Okay, I am making a podcast. I am doing a master's at UCL in climate innovation and sustainable policy. I am the lead environmental auditor, brand consultant, and customer service lead for the UK's newest and upcoming luxury, ethical, and sustainable department store. And I do the environmental consultancy for a restaurant group in London. You can do environmentalism, or at least sprinkle your workload with environmentalism in any industry you are in. There is not a single industry on this planet that does not need to make a specific change. So by combating climate anxiety in the way you approach your work and your life, it will make you feel like you are contributing. It will make you part of the discussion, and it will help with this anxiety and this lack of, I want to say happiness. It's not happiness, but this lack of like overflowing abundance. Like, I am someone who lives a very fulfilling life. I'm a very happy creature and I live very well because I know that just by working, the thing we do for such a high proportion of our lives, I am helping. It's really that simple. Maybe I'm blissfully ignorant. Maybe I'm also naive. But I do a lot for climate. And it makes me live life happier with less anxiety because I'm not only more educated on it, but I'm contributing. There you go. Thank you so much. Love and resistance. Empathy beyond borders. This would be our intro to paragraph 3 of the article, which you will find where? Online at categoryasclimate.co.uk. And I'm leaning into the microphone now because, yes, we've called this a podcast for months and we will be putting this on Spotify and BBC Sounds. So if you can hear me, engage. Paragraph 3. Love as resistance, empathy beyond borders. Bell motherfucking hooks. Dylan, could you grab the bell hooks bag? The bell hooks book out of my bag. Thank you so much. Bell hooks writes, the will to nurture the growth of one's self and others is not just sentiment, but a way of combating suffering. Thank you very much. Bell hooks, this is my Bible. Also, I just found out she's dead, Dylan. She's been dead since 2021. There are other videos I've made prior to this one where I've been like, bell hooks, if you're watching, get involved, get engaged. Like, I would love to meet you. She's been dead for 5 years. It's such a shame. Illy, thank you so much. Illy, love you. Illy. She's iconic. You should definitely read this book. If you're someone who like needs to learn about love, you should do it. The global south is not just, quick pivot, the global south is not just at risk. It is already experiencing the front lines of climate disaster, rising seas, crop failures, forced migration, just to name some of the thousands and hundreds of ways that Western consumption and capitalist resource extraction have and continue to debilitate the lives of those across borders. These are not just abstract statistics. These are mothers. These are workers, teachers, children, real people. Please let that sink in. I know you know they're real people, but they are real people. They are as real as me, and they are as real as you. They just do not have the access that we have, and it is outrageous that we consume in the way we do. For what? Where it is met with such awful exchange on the other side. We take like a Zara t-shirt, and it creates that much more negativity and destruction elsewhere. Thank you. Contrastingly, choosing to care deeply about people we may never meet is a radical act. It rehumanizes the crisis, and paradoxically, it makes us happier. Studies show that practicing empathy and global awareness can increase life satisfaction and improve relationships, cultivate a stronger sense of purpose, and feed back into your life in positive ways that you really cannot even imagine. I am testament to that. I was a very fucking anxious creature during COVID. I came out, moved into the climate world just to see what it was like, fell in love. Helping people, engaging with these political conversations, it makes you a more well-rounded person. If you're someone that does not engage in politics, you're nuts. You're actually a loser. You're actually a cunt because politics is everything. Politics is everything. So just get involved. Thank you so much. I lost momentum a little bit there, but we're going to pick it back up. Bell Hooks, back to the book. Thank you. Sorry, I spiked doing that with my volume again. Bell Hooks writes very poignantly. I know no one that has embraced a love ethic that has not lived a more vibrant and fruitful life. The widespread assumption that living more ethically takes the fun out of life is false. I'm actually going to repeat that to you, but I need to read it. No, I don't. I know no one that has embraced a love ethic and helped people that has not lived a more vibrant and fruitful life. The false narrative set that helping people and being involved in these crises and these topics brings your quality of life down is a falsity. Helping people, service. There are cultures all over the world, basically just not the West, that know that helping people and creating growth within nature or within societies and communities, it feedbacks tenfold. It feeds back tenfold. It may be a very foreign concept for some of those who experience only validation through material gain and accumulation, but if you are someone who can move away from just like being happy when you buy food or buy clothes or buy objects and just living in an experience, it will transform you. We have paragraph number 4. Apathy, the emotional collapse of a capitalist culture. Empathy is not easy in a culture designed to numb us. That's a pretty powerful sentence, but it is true. A culture whose foundation is a history of colonization, resource extraction and displacement. Apathy, complacency, and inertia will thrive and become the emotional defaults for late-stage capitalism. The numbness and lack of interconnectivity you feel out in the world where people are not talking, people are not engaging, they're just on their phones, this is late-stage capitalism. The fact that we've got labubus again is pure proof that we have late-stage capitalism. 24-karat gold labubu. Capitalism's false promise that you can have anything, anytime for the lowest price has not made us more free. It has trapped us, disconnected us, and made us cynical and overwhelmed. The peak of the benefits of capitalism and white supremacy provided for those living in the upper middle class were felt to the greatest extent with the greatest generation, the boomers, and our grandparents, my grandparents. It has gone downhill since then. Water quality is decreasing, food quality is decreasing, quality of product is everything's plastic, it's all crap, like classy items and things made of like beautiful natural fabrics. They are a rarity now. You have to go to vintage shops or like, high-end tailors to find them. And we are now also paying very high prices for this very low quality. Fast fashion built on exploitation, ultra-processed food that poisons the body and the earth, convenience built on fossil fuels and sweatshops. In this system, we are not citizens, we are consumers, we are workers within a system that funnels money up to the global elite. The rats in a long race that benefit nobody but the top 1% and actively damages those living out of the complex societal systems. I know you know about this. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. We're just stuck in the middle making the whole thing happen. But we are complacent and we are complicit. And this is what we need to change. And this is why I've created my podcast, because I want people like you and me to start engaging more. But the real cost is deeper. Apathy erodes our collective conscience. It weakens our sense of shared destiny. When people stop believing their actions matter and that their agency can contribute, whether it's voting or protesting or even just caring, they surrender their power completely. I'm actually convinced toxic masculinity was born of exactly this topic. Someone taught men. Well, it still happens. It's still happening now. But someone in the West, someone taught men that they were the shit. They didn't need to do anything. Women were workers for them. The poor and the brown and the colored were workers for them. The reason why toxic masculinity exists is because men don't know how to show care anymore. And further than that, they don't know how to help others without it seemingly decreasing their own quality of life and their own self-esteem and their own image that they try to portray into the world. Take it away from men. People in general still do this. Help others, gain benefits, contribute to system, live happy life. Simple math. The action you can take to reclaim your agency and build new cultures is grounded in participation. The antidote to apathy is not perfection, it is participation. The paths forward are civic engagement, conscious consumerism, solidarity with the global south, caring about those living in other countries. The cultural reset we need so consistently within different topics. And this resistance to the myth of helplessness. You are not helpless. You're just lazy. Get off your ass and do something. Like, anything, even in small ways. Like if you see something like get dropped on the street, like pick it up and put it in the bin. If you see someone that needs help, go and help them, even if it takes 2 minutes of your time. You'll live a more engaging life. And the actions you can actually take are switching to renewable energy providers, moving your money away from big banks, pursue purpose-driven work like we just talked about, have honest conversations with people, like honest conversations. If you're scared to release what you're thinking inside about your climate anxiety, how are you ever going to learn more? Like, yeah, people like me love to rant at you, but like go and talk to people. Go and talk to people you love. Help each other grow. Get politically active. Cut down meat, dairy, and fish. I know that was going to come up eventually. I'm so sorry, but it's true. You have to. Manage waste responsibly. Yes, recycling barely exists anymore. We basically sort trash using more water to then go and throw it in the oceans in Bali. But do something with your waste. Choose ethical fashion. Avoid plastic. We are living through the most critical decade, nay, the most critical century in human history. The decisions we make today, those alive on Earth today, the decisions we make frame arguably the next 1,000 years of human activity. The natural world we are killing now. How long do you think it would take to regrow that versus how long it would take to just save it? Like, it's incomparable. Climate change and inequality, mass displacement, ecological collapse, they're no longer distant possibilities. They are converging realities, forcing a defining question upon us. Will we adapt with care and courage, or will we allow apathy and laziness to write our future? This is not just a planetary crisis, it's a crisis of conscience. The facts are clear, the tools exist. What we lack is not knowledge, but collective will. A will to care, to act, to love, beyond comfort, beyond convenience, beyond borders. Oh my God, the taglines just keep coming. Again, though, the facts are clear, the tools exist. What we lack is not knowledge, but collective will. A will to care, to act, to love, beyond comfort, beyond conscience and convenience, and beyond borders. In the face of an overwhelming climate anxiety, this deep numbness and paralysis comes from knowing too much and feeling too alone. We must reject the myth that nothing can be done. The antidote is not perfection, it's participation. We need mobilization at every level, and we need every single person on this planet to help with this crisis. Change won't come from the top down. It's been proven. The billionaires, the global elites, the governments. Does it look like they're going to help? Does it look like they're going to turn around and save the world? It will rise from classrooms. It will rise from kitchens and from communities and from conversations. It will come from people who choose connection over cynicism and who believe that caring is not a weakness, but the bravest form of resistance we dare to employ in the 21st century. Choosing a life of empathy, justice, and responsibility doesn't mean giving something up. It just means gaining everything that truly matters. Purpose, solidarity, meaning, and joy. This is literally our moment. It's humanity's moment to redefine what it means to live well. Not in excess, but in enough, within sufficiency. Not alone, but together. We must transform numbness into care, care into collective action, and change the future, because the future will not change itself. We must change for it. We must change for it. We have to be the ones that embody now the principles that we require in 50 years. We have got to be proactive. As Naomi Klein says, it is not just climate change. It is everything change. And that means everything is also an opportunity for justice and collective care and rewiring literally the way humanity has evolved for billions of years, and taking everything we've created and everything humanity's experienced into this culture of overstimulation and social media and global change, and just do it. You just have to do it. We have to do it. You can keep putting off certain decisions, but you just have to do it. I'm going to leave you there. This was one of our longer articles. Don't think that all of them are going to be this long, but this was a very important topic, and I wanted to start by talking about a cultural reset and climate anxiety within the context of all of these global systems. Climate anxiety, the cure is participation. I've said it already. But when you are anxious, what do you do? Take it away from climate. When you are sad, you get up and you do something. When you are in pain, you allow yourself to heal. When you are hungry, you eat. When you're short of breath, you breathe. When you need systemic change, we just have to do it. When you are anxious about the climate, do something about the climate. If you are anxious about the state of the world, get engaged. It's that simple. Get up and get engaged. Do something. That was Category is Climate's first episode of part 1, Culture, Love and Justice. No, I lied to you. Culture, Love and Action. And the first episode was Climate Anxiety. I have been Connell Judge. Thank you so much for listening. Go and check out the article online if you would like that slightly less rambly. Thank you so much for your time. Now go out and do something. Change one thing after watching this. Dead serious. One thing. And cut.